magic in Dark Souls 2 at launch was like so good.
Mhm.
I think we're.
Are we? I see a black screen.
I see a frozen screen.
Yeah, I see a frozen screen also. Hold on, I'm gonna refresh.
They hear us, but oh, there it is.
Okay.
We're good now. We're good now.
Okay.
All right.
So I had a question about Dark Souls 2, actually, Austin.
Yes.
And Janice. I was playing Scholar of the First Sin,
Yes.
and there's I don't know if you're familiar with H. Bomber Guy's great video about Dark Souls 2.
I won't say I consulted on that video, but he was dating a friend of mine before he made that video.
Fair enough.
And he said, Austin, can I ask you some things about Dark Souls 2? And a lot of those things are in that video.
Well, then
we were aligned. We were already aligned on many things.
Well, excellent then. My question then is, should I play the original version?
Because I have not played Scholar of the First Sin, and so that means all I can do is say, Harry, H. Bomber Guy, has said that he doesn't like Scholar of the First Sin as much. And other people I know have also said that they don't like Scholar of the First Sin as much. I've only played the original with the original enemy layouts and stuff like that, so I can only vouch for those. Is really what.
What's the difference then? Because I thought it was just like with the DLC content added on.
It's not just that.
It's quite a bit different.
There are also enemy layouts throughout the game that are different. There's also some additional stuff that's like, if I remember right, like some different items, some additional item locations and stuff is different. And I want to say even there's some multiplayer types changes to help encourage more PvP, but I don't remember that for sure. But that's already a game that has so many different PvP covenants. I never really had a problem getting into PvP action if that's what I happened to want that day.
Okay.
But yeah, that stuff is like directly. It isn't just the DLC. But also, here's the other thing: is I'm curious for both of you. Have you done much? Also, nice job.
Thank you.
Have you done much of the Souls DLC over the years?
I did for this because it was out when I played it. Everything was out. It was several years after the game had come out, so I was just able to kind of play the whole thing. So and I really loved that. There were some great bosses in this, but I've not played the DLC for 3. I have played the Bloodborne DLC. I've not played the DLC for this or the second one.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Or for the third one and the second one. Sorry.
Yeah, I've played Artorias on the first one, but I still haven't. I was like waiting for them to re-release like all 3 of the games in like a nice little package so I could just get all of them at once. But now you're telling me that Scholar of the First Sin is different. So I'm like, yeah, but I didn't play any of the second or the third game DLC.
Right. So Kano in the chat says Dark Souls 2 DLCs. Two things here. So Kano first says, yes, Scholar of the First Sin is like Dark Souls 2 EX. A lot of the enemy placements are almost meant for Dark Souls 2 veterans, because it's like, oh, look, you thought this person would be here, but actually now they're over here. And then also Zakana says that the Dark Souls 2 DLCs are possibly the best content they've ever done. I have not played them. Like, this is my curse. My DLC curse is because I've spent so many years doing games coverage, it's really hard for me to like go back to a DLC and start playing a game again. And I don't mean that just in terms of like hourage and like my time is spent elsewhere. It's like it's a brain thing that like once I file a review, once I've had my final podcast conversation about a game or something, it tends to shuffle away from my brain, and my brain closes that chapter of my life and I move on. But that means I know I'm missing out on some good stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll revisit Dark Souls 2 at some point. Would love to play that DLC.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. The only thing I really dislike about Dark Souls 2, aside from the fact that like it just feels very different from the first game, like I felt like I was playing a Dark Souls game, definitely, but it was like not in. It just didn't feel like the same kind of spirit. Like the way that the environments just weren't as like interconnected, or at least it took a while for you to like get to the point where like some areas started to connect to one another, whereas like the first game, like you get that one of those shortcuts like opens up like really early on and it's like whoa. And I just like that was like one of my favorite things about the first game. And then the other thing I hate about Dark Souls 2 is that like the bosses are just so forgettable. Like I literally can't name a single boss from Dark Souls 2 off the start stuff. I think like, you know, we were talking about Rat King, whatever, and then like the giant, the whatever giant, like from the, which is the first boss. But aside from that, like I have such a hard time like just naming bosses from Dark Souls 2.
You don't remember Vendrick, the giant knight who walks around? You don't remember
That I remember.
Okay. Yeah, the other thing there's two other things that I think are probably worth saying for me. The first is I started Souls with Demon Souls, which was not an interconnected world. That's a world with like a hub and spoke system, sort of like Dark Souls 2, where there's a central hub, and then you kind of just you literally in Demon Souls just teleport to a different like place, and you do all three of those levels in a row. Like it's like you go to Boletaria, and then you do the Boletaria 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you kind of bounce between the worlds because of the way progression is and like what level you need to be or what, you know, soul level or whatever. But so when I came to Dark Souls and all the interconnectedness stuff was there, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. But it wasn't like foundational to what I wanted from the game. The second thing on that note is like, I think it's really interesting because Dark Souls 2 is so much more explicitly about an empire, and about an empire that is broad in the territory it controls. I like to think of Dark Souls 1 as like a very interesting ecology because of the way everything is interconnected, and there's no space that doesn't touch any other space in a way that makes some semblance of sense. Like it's a little weird that the things line up the way they do, but it does feel like a big sculpture almost. Whereas Dark Souls 2 is inconsistent and the map like crosses in on itself, and I've always said this, that like I'm always saying this. Dark Souls 1 is about the obliteration of time, and Dark Souls 2 is about the obliteration of space. And part of the reason I say that is because like one of the core concerns of the narrative of that game is colonizing war with the giants, the giant culture from across the sea, that then comes back onto the land of this empire. And so all of those weird inconsistencies, like the most famous one, I think, is you're in the valley where all the poison is, and you take an elevator up through a windmill, and then suddenly you go up through, presumably, a lake of lava, and now you're on a new landmass where there's a big lava lake and a kingdom, and you're like, well, how would that ever fucking happen?
It makes no sense. Like the original environments just felt so organic and natural. Like everything in this game feels like it's like intentionally built by people at some point.
Right.
Like you can really feel like,
For me, it's like, oh, word, did this empire like completely conquer the environment in such a way that it doesn't make sense and it doesn't feel natural anymore? Did that shit happen? Oh, okay, cool. I get it. So I think with that perspective, I would be really curious. And I'll be clear, you might go back and still play it and go like, actually, this still fucking sucks. Austin's out of his mind. And I'm fine with that. Like I've made peace with the fact that Dark Souls 2 is the least liked Souls game long ago. I know that I am an outsider here, an outlier here.
What I played of Scholar the first set I actually liked, and I thought some of the bosses were actually fairly memorable. I can't remember what it's called, but the triumvirate that's in the church.
Which almost pre-stages. There's two church fights I'm thinking about. There's the church fight where you're fighting like 2 or 3 real bosses, like real like big boss-sized bosses that are kind of hard to manage.
Right.
And then there's the one that's like almost a prelude to the big church fight in 3 with all of the like the priest and all of the
I love that fight.
That fight rules. That fight's great. The
it's
one that
so unlike every other boss fight in the game. Like I just like when they do that.
It's like the beta version of it is in 2 with Prowling Magus and the Congregation, which is like it's like one mage and a bunch of like no name weak enemies.
Yep. I totally forgot about that rat.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything.
Does anyone have like a favorite all-time Souls boss fight? Like what's that always helps me gauge what people are getting out of Souls. I know it's a big question.
I mean, the most memorable one to me is Ornstein and Smough, obviously, but that's because it made me hate myself in ways that I never thought possible. I guess like, and then the other memorable one is that also made me hate myself is the Nameless King from Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Because that's like that has really amazing like lore like behind it, because like so basically like there's all these hints throughout the first game that there's like one of the children of Gwyn is like forgotten, like his name has been forgotten to history. And there was a theory at one point that Solaire, the Jolly Cooperation Knight, was actually like, because he's like super obsessed with the sun, he's like super vibing on the sun, like loves the sun. So a lot of people assume that Solaire was the missing unnamed son of Gwyn. But then the third game comes along, and because you see all these like crumbled statues, there's this one area actually in the Undead Burg where we are right now, where you go past the Drake, and there's like a crumbled statue of this supposed nameless king. But then you actually fight him in Dark Souls 3 in this optional area, and it's just like, whoa, like holy shit, and like everything kind of just like comes together. And I think like that maybe isn't like my favorite boss fight, but it's definitely like memorable for its lore implications.
Totally. That fight's also just very. It's like the most anime that Dark Souls gets. It's the most like out there, explosive energy fighting on the top of the clouds nonsense. I loved it. That's a good fight.
Remind me what's behind this.
I think it's just more. It's not a boss. It's just like more area.
All right.
It's like a loading screen or whatever.
Perfect.
Yes. Whew, okay. Good. It's like, okay, well, what are the early bosses? Where could we be?
No, there's no boss.
What am I forgetting?
Here.
Yeah. I never remember the names, but like you were the big boss fight with the ball of priests in 3.
Yeah.
The Deacons of the Deep.
Deacons of the Deep. I love that boss.
So good.
That fight's so good. I remember like rolling into that and just being like, wait, what is happening?
Yeah, so bizarre.
I think my favorite boss fight in 3 is Aldrich, because he like, because again, so like I feel like my favorite boss fights are the ones that have like all this lore behind it. Because so basically like you fight Aldrich, and Gwendolyn, who is the premier trans woman goddess of the Dark Souls world. Basically they say that she's like raised as a female, but like as actually a son. Like no, I'm sorry, like bitch is totally a girl. So anyway, you can see Gwendolyn, like when you fight Aldrich, Gwendolyn is like being consumed by this giant mass, and so like it looks like you're fighting Gwendolyn, but you're actually fighting Gwendolyn being controlled by this like massive sort of like almost like Lovecraftian creature that consumed so many people that it just became like this massive pool of sludge. And like one of my interpretations is that it consumed both Gwendolyn and Nito, which is why it has that like low body. The lower part of it looks so much like Nito, and the upper part of it looks so much like Gwendolyn. And and also again, this person, it was probably, if I remember the lore right, it was a shitty priest or something, right? It's like someone who demanded more power, consumed his own congregation, and then like defiled 2 of the most important Dark Souls 1 characters in a terrible way. Yeah. If I remember correctly, the Deacons of the Deep, like the priests like of the Deep in Dark Souls 3 were very similar to like the Abyss Walkers in that they like looked over this portal into what is called the Deep. It's not called the Abyss because like, and it's not very clear if like the Deep is part of the Abyss or if it's just like a separate like sort of pool of dark energy or whatever. But basically, the way I remember the lore is that the deacons like watched over the Deep and then eventually were consumed by it, and then they like, and that's when Aldrich started to like eat everyone. But it's also interesting because there's this one piece of lore where it says that like Aldrich, and this is getting back to what we were talking about before, there's this piece of lore where it says like Aldrich saw beyond the Age of Fire into an age of the Deep Sea, which is like very close to like this idea of like, looking beyond this age of the gods where people are forced to just reignite the gods' power over and over and over again, and we're just enslaved to like constantly be in service to the gods and not to ourselves as humans. So like that is like, but it's again this idea of like, you know, you dive too deeply into that like, you know, darkness or whatever, and you become corrupt and start like eating people and stuff. So
right. It's funny you bring up the Abyss Watchers. I think that is probably my favorite fight in Dark Souls, for all of the reasons we've already talked about regarding the way that the series plays with like cycles and cyclicality and that notion of inescapably. Oh no! What happened? I think your internet dipped.
Yeah, so it disconnected me from the server and dropped me. That's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Let's see where it puts you.
I had so many souls.
You had so many souls. You had so many souls.
I have so many souls. Oh no!
Okay, get out of there.
Run away.
The Abyss Watchers fight, like when I realized that what was happening was that this group of people who had been who won sort of shaped themselves after a sort of heroic figure or heroic figures in the world of Dark Souls. The fact that they like wanted to be like Artorias, who is like positioned as this kind of very noble figure in many ways in the kind of lore. And this,
but he's not.
I know, but they don't know that, right? In their vision of the world, Artorias is this person who is great, right? Which again, Dark Souls. And yet, what ends up happening to them in the end is they end up dying and resurrecting over and over again, doomed to fight each other in inescapable conflict over nothing. You know, over like a little room that they're in. Is so good, and it also hits that thing that I love the most in games, which is that feeling of fighting against something that fundamentally feels like it's interacting with the world in the same way that I am. I'm a big fan of like duels in games, and that feeling of like, you know, squaring off with someone who moves sort of like the way I do, or at least is confined by that same stuff. And with the Abyss Watchers specifically, so much of what they feel like also feels like a little bit of a nod to or adaptation of some of the Bloodborne stuff. You know, they don't necessarily have a trick weapon the way that the Hunters and Bloodborne do, but the way that they move, the way that they use the offhand for parries, like there is that like little echo of Bloodborne there, which is the other one of my other favorite things about FromSoft games is like, no, Bloodborne and Demon Souls and Dark Souls are not all in the same world. Unless, like, wink, are they? Is time so fucked up? Is space so destroyed? They're not. But wouldn't it be cool if? And I love playing in that little space, which is not something I tend to do, like, in other fiction. But there's something so compelling about the ways in which weapons show up across these different worlds and bosses and the way, like, the verbs of play, the way enemies move, some very basic design elements. But that stuff always feels really potent to me. And so the Abyss Watchers were definitely probably my favorite individual fight in the series, I think.
Yeah, I definitely got the like Bloodborne vibes when I was playing that fight for the first time. I was like, oh wow, because I also just played Bloodborne, and like I played Bloodborne right before Dark Souls 3 came out. Right. Or wait, no, the other way around. Dark Souls 3 came out and then Bloodborne. Yeah.
Is that right? I think it's the other way. Because I think so, because I know where I was when I was playing Dark Souls 3 for review, and I think it was after Bloodborne.
Yes, it was 100% after Bloodborne.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, okay. I knew I wasn't like hallucinating that. But yeah, I played it after Bloodborne, and then I was like, oh wow, yeah. Because like also the one thing that like was huge about Bloodborne was just like the combat was so much faster paced, which I really liked. I thought it was like pretty refreshing, but it was also like really satisfying, like doing the parries and like the fact that they made aggression as like you have to, like, you're not just gonna like put your shield up, like you have to actually get some hits in order to defend yourself. So it's like the being aggressive is like written in as like, that's what I really liked about Bloodborne. But I also like the other thing. I like putting my shield up and like parrying and whatever.
Me too. I'm glad that the world has continued. The world of FromSoft games have continued to develop out in different ways. Like I really loved Sekiro, which we haven't talked about at all because it feels like such a distinct thing in so many ways. But I really liked Sekiro, and in terms of if we count that, I think there are boss fights in that have some of the biggest wow moments in
Okay.
I
need to play Sekiro.
That
Undead Ape. That Undead Ape is just all time shout at my fucking screen.
Angry.
At the thing that happens in that fight. Yeah.
Angry, so angry. Yeah.
You should play it. It's so interesting to see them do something that is not grounded in medieval fantasy, medieval European fantasy rather. It is grounded in medieval fantasy, Japanese medieval fantasy, but then also to do something that is in some ways more aggressive than Bloodborne, and in other ways less. It kind of like moves past that paradigm in some ways. I mean, you're not hiding behind your shield, but you are playing defensively and doing a lot of management of your enemies' kind of stamina and poised, and looking for openings in interesting ways. It's worth playing.
That is what I heard about Sekiro.
Did we talk about, and this is spoiler territory, but it's one of my favorite moments that I know of from Dark Souls 2, even though I did not get there, but I think kind of speaks to kind of what Janice was talking about, the state of the king in the world.
We briefly mentioned Vendrick, but yeah, that reveal, I think, is all time. I keep saying all time good FromSoft thing, and we keep saying it, but there are so many good all time good FromSoft things. Are you gonna make
That's when he's like walking around and he's all haggard and he has like a weird lanky bit. Yeah, okay.
And you thought this whole time you're like, oh yeah, of course. What I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go get the 4 great souls, and then I'm gonna go confront the king, and like, yeah, that's it's Dark Souls. That's what happens here. Nah, I mean, yeah, you can go fight him, and in some ways it's a mercy to do such.
I think that's a great.
Where am I going? What am I doing? I'm gonna turn around here. It's been a little bit.
So you can try and jump into that little alcove and get an item, I think.
I think I've already been in there. I came in there from a different direction. I'm like 99% sure. How do I get to embarrassing myself in front of the next boss?
The Taurus demon is back from. It's like near the like aqueduct area, I think.
Okay.
Strangely, I have like an easier time navigating when I'm playing and not when like I'm watching someone else play.
It is so difficult.
It's a completely different,
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, going back on like that thing where you see Vendrick in the second game, like I feel like that totally feeds into what I was talking about before, which is like this idea of like these lords and kings and gods that like supposedly have all this power, but when you actually like start to like notice things, you realize that like they actually don't, and they're like manipulating you because like without you, like their power is, you know, fading and whatever. Right. And like at the end of the thing that I love about Dark Souls 3 is that if you do in Dark Souls 3, if you choose to link the flame, if you do that ending, which is like probably the ending that most people will see, like if you remember in Dark Souls 1, when you link the flame at the end, like the whole room like explodes and it's like this huge fire, like consumes everything. But when you do it at the end of 3, where supposedly like millennia have passed and like this process has happened like over and over again for millennia, like it barely even consumes the character. And it's like the idea of that, like the god's power is just like failing, and like you've delayed the inevitable maybe for like a little bit, but it's for the most part, it's like still going to be miserable for everyone. Mm-hmm. So like, that's why, you know, I keep saying that like, if you got the, I guess, can I get into talking about the Lord of Hollows ending? Anybody else?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I chose at the time. Yeah.
The Lord of Hollows ending in Dark Souls 3, for anyone who doesn't know, is, I think, the best ending in any Dark Souls game, because it implies it's not just like the dark ending where you like choose not to light the fire and then like the fire dies out and whatever, and then it just like fades to black or whatever. In the Lord of Hollows ending, you choose to take like your character basically like you have to do a couple things. You have to like basically ally yourself with the Londor faction contingent, which are like the basically the land of undead, which is very similar to New Londo from the original one. So I guess we're meant to believe that it's like kind of the same place, or if it's like a continuation of the sort of like nation of hollows, who have basically like embraced like being undead as like part of human nature, and they kind of don't, you know, they're all like ghoulish and whatever, and you're like initially a lot of people probably are like, oh, I don't want to be with those guys because they're all ugly, but like they're trying to like
secret. They're from a place where beauty is different, you know.
Exactly. And like it's actually even implied that in some parts that like being undead, or the sort of like dark element of humanity, because like the dark soul is like the humanity that you collect throughout the, you know, the first two games, and it's just like basically what you eventually find out is that the like dark sign, which is like the ring of fire surrounding like a black orb, like that literally is like the fire, which represents the gods, like imprisoning humanity and trying to keep them away and like contain their true nature, which is like the dark, because the original the furtive pygmy, which is like the character in the very opening cinematic that you see in the first game, is like the progenitor of all of humanity and claims the dark soul as like sort of the core of humanity's power, but the gods trick humans into thinking that they're actually supposed to be, you know, different. And so like basically the Lord of Hollows ending is like humanity like recognizing its true nature and choosing to create something for itself rather than continually perpetuating the system that was put there to enslave them by the gods. So like and like that's why I really like that ending, because it's not just like pure like giving in to the powers that be, and it's also not just like letting things fade to black. It's like we can take this power and we can build something new, and we can see a world that's beyond this world that was presented to us as like the only choice.
Yeah, totally. That which like obviously, you know, the three of us on this stream, that is going to resonate with us in a big way. It's funny, we were talking about the ways in which, you know, thinking about Vendrick again, and the ways in which Vendrick is clearly someone who, you know, either I don't remember the lore if he had the fire relit or if he's just there in the closing days, but is like zombie-like, is or the quote that it made me think of, because I big Mark's brain over here, is Marx and Capital saying that capital is dead labor, that it's like a vampire that only lives by, you know, sucking the labor out of living labor, which is to say us, and it's like, and it lives more the more that it sucks, or something like that. And like that is the fire. The fire lives more the more that it sucks from us. And that the thing that you're supposed to do, the thing that Mark says, the way to rob capital is to consume your disposable time for yourself, to spend your time doing things that are not captured by capital, that are not turned into blood for capital to live on.
That is right.
And like that is the fucking thing, right? Go into the darkness, but like it isn't just like go into the darkness and let the darkness watch over you and continue to try to like eke out some sort of subsistence living under the old mode of being, which is what happens, which is what is like gestured at, I guess you would say, in the original dark ending of Dark Souls 1. But to build something new in that space, to spend that time doing things, not just kind of letting the world happen to you in that way. So yeah, I'm with you. Getting that ending was like, realizing that was building to something was very cool, and being like, wait a second, who are these people? Who are these pilgrims? Where are they coming from? What is that place like? I guess I'm not going to go there. And the answer, of course, is like what you said. It's like, no, you're not going to go there. You're going to bring it here. And that's such a powerful way to wrap that whole series up for me.
Yeah, aside from like the implications of like hierarchy that are present in that ending, where they're like worshiping you at the end, they're like, oh, our precious lord, like that I'm not a huge fan of. I think like power can be decentralized. We can help each other. We can horizontally organize to, you know, create solidarity for one another.
We just have to play.
But like,
we have to just read my fic in which the pilgrims eventually backstab you and overthrow you and replace you.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, like the way I interpret it is that like you're taking. Like, so there's the dark ending in Dark Souls 3 is like you take the power for yourself, like,
right.
And then you like run away with it. It's called the Usurpation of Fire ending. That's what the name of the ending is. And that's like you're taking it for yourself, whereas the Lord of Hollows ending is like you're taking it on behalf of humanity. Like you're taking this like fading power of the gods that clearly like cannot serve us anymore, that were never meant to serve us, that were never meant to help us. And you're like taking it to create this new society that is based around like actually, you know, helping human beings and like having human beings help each other. That's the way I read it. It's the optimistic sort of interpretation.
It is so hard for me to imagine getting through these games, getting to the last one, and being like, I'm gonna link the flame. I think more of this is good.
Yeah.
I like cannot. Yeah. It's so hard to imagine.
Oh, we're getting a bunch of donations also. Owen Sanders donates.
We are not. We moved past what I thought was the time that we were at. I thought we were at a special time.
Oh no, we missed the 33, but some people did donate 333. Owen Sanders donated $500. Thank you. Eating some, and I can't actually see. It's a bunch of asterisks, but I'm assuming it's chicken parm. What do you think about chicken parm? I am neutral about chicken parm because I'm vegan. But thank you for the $500, Owen Sanders. Episode IV donates $20. Thank you. Glorgu is back in here, donating $333. Souls laughs for $333. Me, he. Anonymous donating $333. Another anonymous person donating $100, and another anonymous person donating $100. Thank you to all these anonymous donations. And another $50. And then Arcane Sugar donates $13.12. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Y'all are just wonderful.
That brings us up currently. Where are we at? Holy crap. We are at $57,447, which is incredible, IMO. We have another hour to go, I think, on this stream. And then coming up next after us are Kaz and Libby, who are taking over to play some Bloodborne. And I joined Kaz and Libby last night with some Dragon's Dogma, which was a blast. People should go back and watch that archive after the stream is over, because we had a lot of fun. We talked about why that game is so good. So if you want to hear us just kind of go off about why everyone should play Dragon's Dogma, well, that's your spot. You're making progress.
Like that Bloodborne is right after this, after we talked about
so
Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I love Bloodborne so much.
It's really
I really
good.
want there to be a Bloodborne 2.
Everybody
I think it's. I have to imagine it or something like it is coming. All right, here we fucking go. Now we're ready.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I believe.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Oh no, you got to take out the archers first. I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't need to, but
I guess.
yeah.
No, that was the smart.
I mean, it helps.
Oops.
You're going up there
Definitely
anyway.
helps.
Get up there.
Oh.
I mean, I guess you could
my
take them on when they're shooting you.
Going for it. No,
I always fight them on the tower.
Yeah, I'm so afraid of this bridge not having the. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a wash.
Yeah. Let's do this again. I completely forgot about the archers. It's been a while since I played this one. It's been a really
Yeah,
long
I
time.
forgot about the archers too when I was playing the Switch version for the first time in a while. I was like, oh, that's right.
I told myself I was going to replay the remastered, and then I just didn't. And which means I haven't played this in 7 years or something.
Cursed run.
You gotta charge that run. You gotta hold down that circle button.
You gotta
get out of there.
Yeah, no.
I feel like
a
huge part of the core.
Oh
A huge part of the choreographic element of this game is like navigating through these spaces, like especially when you're like about to fight a boss and you're just like running past people. It's like there's like a certain art to like memorizing every twist and turn in the environment and like doing it in such a way where you won't get stabbed in the back as you're running past people.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. There's like a certain satisfaction that comes with doing that successfully.
There's so much beat by beat about all of these games that it's just so pleasing. You know?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I like this is it turns out, and we were talking about this last night when we were talking about Dragon's Dogma, that the thing that I end up loving the most about the games I love the most, it tends not to be these big climactic moments. It tends not to be the boss fight. Right? I love the boss fights in this game to death, but it is just the second to second feeling of moving through a certain space. Oh, buddy.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's Dark Souls.
Forget about it, man.
Yeah.
It's Dark Souls.
It's Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It feels good to die sometimes, you know. So
Sometimes it feels really good when I die in this game by like getting pushed off of a ledge,
yeah,
like at a moment where I'm not expecting it, and I'm just like, oh no, and like it's always the moments where I can like see exactly where I messed up, like where I like let my guard down, and then like I got too close to the ledge, and then I like took a swing at a guy and got like just pushed off, and I'm like,
You get into the... I cleared these dudes like several times, and then you just get into this place where you keep getting stuck kind of over and over again, right? I mean, we're still going for it.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Chug that Estus. I feel like all these runs are cursed runs now, but we're just kind of rolling with it.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a cursed run, but...
I mean, this game is about a curse. Like, it's literally about being cursed to suffer for capitalism / the gods.
/ the gods. Yeah, the funny thing is when you made that thread, I think I DM'd you on Slack because we're in the Vice Slack, and one of the things that I said was like, I've always thought about this game in relationship to the Enlightenment, and because like the setup for the Dark Souls world is actually let me finish this tweet and let this boss fight go, because I don't want to distract from this boss fight. Let's let this boss fight go, and then I'll bring up my bullshit long-term reading of this game.
There you go.
All right. Okay. Now I aggro him and then run back to here, right? Is the best way to do
That
this?
is what I normally do, because I am intimidated by large things. I'm a small girl and I'm intimidated by large demons. So I always run back and I go up the tower.
Well,
I don't usually plunge attack him to death, but I do like one plunge attack and then I run back and then I wait for him to like come up and then I fight him on top of the tower. I'm not that much of a wimp.
No one would blame you. Like the secret of Dark Souls always has been the open secret is like no one blames you if you cheese a fight.
Right. But also like
this
fight isn't really necessarily like hard. And I think that something that like the first boss of Bloodborne, the Cleric Beast, is very similar to the Taurus Demon in that I think like with the first boss they basically try to like have this like very large, very imposing, very scary, like, you know, he steps and like the environment shakes, and like From is like really good at doing that, where like, you know, this isn't like a particularly hard boss, but like it's like playing with your nerves and like working off the fact that like you will probably be intimidated by this extremely large, you know, demon thing. And the same thing with the Cleric Beast. He's like very huge. He's like huge. He's intimidating. Whatever.
Oh,
I missed it.
God, see him crawl up rules. There's also something I think about these fights. There's like, listen, the way to win fights against big things in this game is to get in their grill, to get in their legs, to get behind them, to get around them, to figure out which direction.
Transcend your fear.
Yeah, transcend your fucking fear. Get in there. Start wailing away at the ankles. Oh, you've got to heal so bad.
I know.
Chug. You better chug.
Run and chug. Ah, okay. Oh my god.
Sorry.
That's bravery. Listen, that's bravery to me.
Another thing I love about this fight is how the little parapets, like the things stopping you from falling off slowly but surely, get smashed and then you can fall off.
Given that you are not going to be shielding or parrying anything here, you should probably dual hand.
You're right.
Sword in this fight.
Do maximum damage output. Yeah.
Are you not doing shield?
No.
I just realized that for some
Nope.
I'm like, because I was gonna say this is actually one of the only bosses where you can put up your shield, and if it's 100% like damage reduction, like you can just block almost every hit that he does.
This is embarrassing. I don't remember. I don't remember how to dual hand.
God, is this the first time you've streamed? This is welcome to this feeling of being like, oh fuck, all people are watching me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't do this. This is not a thing that I do.
The Taurus demon can fall off. Apparently, I did not know that.
Interesting. How do I
thought that was true, but then someone told me it wasn't true recently, and now I feel like I've been lied to.
Okay, I've never seen that happen.
How do I double hand? I don't remember how to do that in this.
It's the top button, so like it's where like the triangle button would be on the PlayStation controller. There you go.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Apple Cider, which says it's real. Yeah. Taurus Demon. She says my Taurus Demon kill was falling off. I fell. He fell.
Hey, it works. See, I already feel better. Yeah.
One of my favorite cheeses in this game is like when you're in the forest.
I thought you were just gonna say in life. I was like, are we going to the cheese talk? Okay, let's go.
My favorite cheese in life is, no, my favorite cheese in this game, I think, is when you go into the forest area, like just past the sealed door where you get like the Artorias crest and whatever, and there's all those like NPC like undead people, and they're like the defenders of the forest, and they like come after you, and they're like, depending on when you go into that area, they can be pretty tough, like they're pretty formidable. But you can actually cheese them by just like hugging the right side of the staircase, and the pathfinding is bad, and so they don't know to actually like go into that area, and so they'll run up the staircase and then they'll just like fall off the edge, and then like plunge to their deaths. And it's like a really easy way to like just grind souls at like a certain stage of the game if you don't have what it takes to fight them. I just always find that amusing. I did it again for the first time in my Switch playthrough, and I was like, oh, that's right, I forgot. You can cheese all these guys to just like commit suicide.
If you, just so people know, as they're donating, SavePoint.stream is the site to go do that. You can hit the targets button when you're donating in order to donate to specific like targets and stretch goals, including the coming up Bloodborne stream, the We Ascend to the True Ending goal, which is only $420 it needed to be raised towards that target. We're already at $188 towards that. So if you're about to donate and want to see Kaz and Libby get that 420, first of all, we should just donate to get to 420, obviously. But also, if you want to see them ascend to the True Ending, then we should just do that, you know?
What is Bloodborne's? Oh, you got to fight
Hey, listen, let's let people discover it on person. I believe them.
Fair.
Kate donates 420, says cheese it.
420 cheese it. That's right.
We will always 420 cheese it. That's the brew of the day. Bader donates 33. I started with playing Demon's Souls. I just picking it up on a whim at my local game store. It was incredible. I loved everything that came after, but none hold a candle to the atmosphere of Demon's Souls. Tower of Latria is the best, and Tower Knight is probably one of the most memorable fight. Love y'all, ACAB. Yeah. I will be shouted for this, but I still have not properly played Demon's Souls. I've played the beginning of Demon's Souls, but I've never played through the game. And I really
hard to yell at you for that, given that it's like a PS3 only game that is, kind of a pain to play at this point.
Well, soon it will be on PS5 apparently, right?
PS5, yeah, it's going to be a launch.
Except I don't anticipate buying a PS5 anytime soon.
You're not ready to drop $400 or $500 and then another $70 and then tax on all of that? No.
God.
You don't want a Demon's Souls box?
The only console that I bought at launch, I think, was the PS2.
Great console.
I bought the PS2 at launch, and I bought Summoner. If anyone remembers the game Summoner.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Yeah, because it was one of the launch titles, and I was like, oh cool, this is like a Dungeons and Dragons style RPG. I was really into Dungeons and Dragons at the time, and yeah, it was like not a great game, but it kind of like scratched my itch.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, what are you gonna like? PS2 launch library very much had that. That was what you were looking at. I
had Time Splitters and Summoner. Those were the two games I bought at launch.
Dead or Alive.
I had. Oh, did you have Dead or Alive? Okay.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
The weird I can't even remember what it was called, but it was like the feudal Japanese strategy game.
Kessen.
Yes.
Kessen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Big
I
fan
loved
of
Kessen.
Kessen 2, I think, is the one that they do Romance of the Three Kingdoms in, and I like that one quite a bit. Everything about my launch PS2 games are very, very predictable. I think, anyway. The big one is Armored Core 2, which I'd already loved Armored Core. I'd already loved giant robots and mechs. So unsurprisingly, I went hard on to Armored Core 2. Big fan also of Dynasty Warriors 2. I remember playing Dynasty Warriors 2 for the first time and thinking, this is the best that games can get. And years later, I am still a Dynasty Warriors fan, and I have nothing but excitement for the upcoming Hyrule Warriors 2, or whatever the subtitle of that thing is, the Breath of the Wild Hyrule Warriors that's about to come out. So, there was a FromSoft game that came out there. Also, it's worth saying. There's 2 FromSoft games at launch.
Wasn't Armored Core 4 a FromSoft game?
3. You're right. No, all of the Armored Core series. So they actually completely stack. I was thinking about Armored Core fantasy RPGs specifically. Eternal Ring, which probably has nothing to do with Elden Ring, probably, which was
probably not.
I believe there was like a really interesting magic system to Eternal Ring. But I also believe that it was basically, and Dia Lucina is going to yell at me for getting this wrong, but I remember it being sort of like a Kingsfield style JRPG, but maybe I'm wrong about that. And then Evergrace, which I remember being a little more actiony, a little bit more like when I look at gameplay of Evergrace, you can kind of see some early Dark Souls-y stuff.
I remember seeing that when it came out, but I never played it.
Rough. It looks rough to go back and look at it now.
Yeah,
it does look rough. It looks like distinct of its time, and I don't know. I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah, that's right. One more. Got him.
Yes.
We got him, folks.
Look at that. See, the trick to a Dark Souls boss win is to make the people around you talk about anything but the Dark Souls boss you're fighting.
Correct, 100%. Yeah, if you
Anonymous.
Yeah, if you quiet.
Anonymous donates. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Anonymous donates $50.
Hell yeah.
SA Liquid Silver donates $420. Is Oswald of Kareem a cop? Absolutely.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oswald of Kareem is the #1 cop in all of Dark Souls. Like literally, yeah, for sure. Saladon donates $20. Thank you so much. Charlie Johnson donates $50. Good game, great cause. Paul donates $420. Bloodborne True Ending. Let's go. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. Brandon donates $20.
We hit that donation. We did it. We got the Bloodborne True Ending unlocked at this point. So thank you for that.
Yes. Brandon donates $25. Hi, all. Thanks for everything you do. The podcast has helped me get through so many long work days, especially in 2020. Please stay safe and healthy. Much love. Fuck capitalism. Go home.
Hello. You don't look hollow.
Anonymous donates $33.33, and Henry donates $420.68. One short. Well, thank you.
Short.
Thank
Almost
you,
nice.
Let strength be granted, so the world might be ended.
That's
what a great.
Okay, that's
what
not
a great thing.
So So I need to know if Henry, and Henry, if you're in chat, you should tell us in chat. Is that what you think the Maiden in Black says, or is this like a Demon Souls like joke that I don't know? Because I believe that she says so the world might be mended, which is the opposite of ended. But I'm curious. Also, I just realized I'm watching an Evergrace Let's Play on another screen now. I need to close that. I was like, what's Matt doing here? I don't know this area. Like, oh, right, because this is Evergrace for the PS2. I hope it's a typo, but I also kind of love So the World Might Be Ended, which, if you know Demon Souls lore, there is, you can do some stuff there. Here's a question. Of the main NPCs who you talk to level up in FromSoft games, in contemporary FromSoft games, who is your favorite? I know I guess there's only 3 in if you think about just Dark Souls, but then you also think about the doll in Bloodborne. Who is your favorite level up character.
I like the doll in Bloodborne just because it's like creepy, and then also there's that part where you find another abandoned doll, and you find it inside of an abandoned hunter's dream,
It's so
and it's
good.
like, whoa! Like,
Yeah.
I love that moment.
I knew that was coming. I knew
Classic.
that was coming. Yeah. I was like,
Chef's
wait a minute.
kiss.
I remember this bridge. Something bad's
Yeah.
about to happen, and then.
Oh yes. I remember
yeah.
this bridge because I remember being under it and shooting the tail a million fucking times, and like constantly going back to the undead merchant and buying more arrows because I couldn't hit the tail to try and get the Drake sword.
I am unsurprisingly a fan of the Emerald Herald from Dark Souls 2. Majula is where I live, and the Emerald Herald rules, and also I think is part dragon, if I remember the lore right. So, love to be part dragon.
I did not find that out.
Yeah.
Doll all the way. I'm such a horror fan. Bloodborne's my favorite one, and her backstory is so sad and creepy.
I know.
That it's great. She's great.
My favorite parts of Dark Souls, like Soulsborne lore, are definitely like the ones that are the most sad. Another one I was thinking of, like when we were talking about bosses, is Osiris, the Consumed King from Dark Souls 3.
Oh, right.
Who's like literally, and so there's a really interesting part of this where there's like you hear a baby crying like during the boss fight, and he like, and at one point he like gets really mad, like in his like second phase, he gets really mad and he like tries to, and he's like protecting something, but he's holding like a baby that isn't there, and it's really creepy because some people actually went into the game assets and found that there actually was like a model that was like not used in the game assets, but it's like even better when there's nothing there. It's like he's like pretending that his child is like still like in his arms, and it's just like really creepy. Yeah,
Totally.
it's like super tragic.
And again, is another one of these great characters of Dark Souls who becomes obsessed with the history of Dark Souls in a way, because he is someone who has studied Seath the Scaleless from Dark Souls 1.
Yes.
And his form has been
he's become
twisted. Yeah, exactly, into being Seath the Scaleless. And again, there is another. I want to say in Dark Souls 2, there is another major character who ends up echoing Seath in that way, and I'm blanking on who that is. Someone is going to yell at me about it. It might be...
I have such a hard time remembering any boss from Dark Souls 2.
Well, so it's not if I remember right, it's not a boss. It's just like a background character thing. But again, I haven't played Dark Souls 2 since it came out either. Is it just it's the Duke? Okay, it is. It is the Duke.
It is the Duke. Okay. Yeah, okay. I do remember the Duke.
It's funny how, just thinking about Demon Souls, how much of Dark Souls 1 feels like a redo of some of its aspects. Like this part in particular has always struck me. It's like when I played Demon Souls the first time, this is the part I watched out on, was the long bridge with the dragon and the dogs underneath.
Right, yeah, yep.
Yeah, I think like there were so many elements of Dark Souls that were kind of just like, they took like what they were trying to do in Demon Souls and were like, okay, now we have like more of a budget, we can do it properly this time. And like I remember reading something that like when Demon Souls came out, it actually didn't do very well in Japan because like the audience in Japan, like medieval fantasy is just like wasn't very popular at the time. And so like Dark Souls and Demon Souls like kind of weren't super popular in Japan, but then they got super popular in the West. And then that like, so I guess like a lot of these elements are kind of brought over because like the first time with Demon Souls, they were kind of just like, let's just try a bunch of things and like see if they work.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how people will respond to Demon Souls for the first time as they come to it, because there are certain things that I think are one, I don't know what that remake is going to be like. Patrick and I have talked about this in the last couple of days. Like, hey, are they going to try to like backwards put Estus flasks in that game, or are they going to stick to the system of like healing grasses, which is a little bit more like the Bloodborne model of having consumable healing items that you kind of have to grind and save up for, which frankly is my least favorite thing about Bloodborne, a game I think is really good otherwise.
Yeah.
But also just like there is a degree to which I think I really, really like Demon Souls. I think the tone of Demon Souls is so unique, even compared to Dark Souls in some ways. and the I think all the locations have a really strong identity. But I am curious if there are just like some core design things that are going to keep people away from it, or if it will find a really big audience this time. Also, I'll note I played Demon Souls in Japanese originally with a translation FAQ up on a laptop next to me because a friend of mine convinced me that it would never come out in the US. It would never get localized. What a fool I was! I spent so much money on that import and couldn't
There she
engage with the
is.
Lord.
There she is.
Yep.
She will fuck you up.
Oh, buddy.
I got
Alright,
this.
you gotta-
It's okay.
Nice job.
It's just a
Yeah,
board.
wow. The sliver of health.
People in the chat are like, "Oh wait, isn't the Demon Souls remake coming to PC?" No, they have come out and said that was a huge mistake. They did not mean to put that in the trailer for that game.
Oh my
It is
god,
not
really?
Coming to PC, 100% of it is not coming to PC.
Holy cow.
Yeah, what a huge
we've-
mess the whole thing
yeah.
has been.
Absolute nightmare. Yes, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah, the butt plug.
Yeah.
The old Bloodborne trick.
Oh my god. Yeah.
When in doubt.
When in doubt.
Yeah.
If there's ever any
So-
question.
I always throw the alluring skull into the fire so that she goes into the fire and then just burns.
Oh, that's clever.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. That was like, I think a friend like told me that was like, because I remember being stuck on this part the first time I played it, and a friend was just like, try getting her into the fire. And then I was like, oh, that's right, I have these skulls, and I can just like, lure her out.
I always think of...
Oh,
I'm from and grew up in the South, so I think of something much different when I see that.
Did you want to get the did you want to make like the suicide run to get the Estus flat, the what is it, the Firekeeper soul in New Londo?
Yes. If it would be entertaining for the purposes of this stream,
Oh, absolutely. Would.
then yes, let's do it.
I really like making that run because like you're just running past a bunch of ghosts and the ghosts are just like being super spooky.
Alright, then where are we going?
We're going back to Firelink.
All the way back to Firelink, okay. I don't
Yeah.
think I can travel yet, right?
No, you need the Lord Vessel. I just love like New Londo because it's just such like a comically like spooky place, and you basically can't navigate through it in the beginning because you can't fight the ghosts unless you get the transient curse.
Oh, I think
Although there are some items, I think like in the very beginning area, there's some items that are like in the barrels or whatever that let you interact with the ghosts. But it's still pretty hard, like if you go in early in the game.
Oh, nerds.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no!
Oh, just a little, your head was poking up a little
Just
bit.
a little bit.
Oh!
No.
No.
Sorry, I can...
No, your best bet is to go through the sewer, honestly.
I want to grab those souls real quick. It's just too many to leave on the table.
Yeah,
All
true.
right.
Austin said, all right, like he foresees me dying by fire over
Yeah,
and over and
circling
over
my
again on the
fingers.
bridge. It's
Uh-huh.
it's like how my father would give out discipline. When you just like, oh, you're gonna do that? Okay. You think that's
Okay.
okay? Yeah, go ahead. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those beautiful souls I just
All
got,
right.
Austin.
Oh, I just realized
You
you
did
got
it. You did
the
it.
boar helmet.
Yes.
I didn't see her drop that. That's pretty lucky, given that you weren't human, and your item discovery is probably pretty low.
Yep.
Like when I played my most recent playthrough, I did not get the boar helmet as a drop.
Okay, so I'm going all the way back to Firelink through the sewer, which is to my right, correct? Is that right?
Yeah, you're going. Yep, that way. Oh, that was a near miss.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted by trying to schedule future content.
Content for the content god, Austin.
Yeah, I was trying to think. There's a second Firekeeper soul you can get if you make another run into the Undead Parish. You can run past. It's a little harder to get, but you also unlock the shortcut to Firelink.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, like the elevator shortcut.
Yeah.
And you basically just you like run past a bunch of there's a Tower Knight in the Undead Parish, and you basically just like run past him and like get the Firekeeper soul. So there's 2 Firekeeper souls that you can get in the very beginning of the game. One is in the Undead Parish, and the other is the one we're going to get it in the Londo Ruins.
I'm thinking a lot about this game and that sensation of kind of discrete progress, because I definitely
No.
let's just shelf the thing I was saying about progress, because
Classic moves.
The thing I think a lot about what resonates with folks in this game, or at least what resonates with me, which I can actually speak to authoritatively instead of generalizing to a bunch of anonymous people, is that sensation of, all right, I've taken a step forward in my game today. I was thinking specifically about like, oh wow, yeah, we've beat a couple bosses now, and we have gotten X far into this game, and how. It's not that isn't true for a lot of other games, but like in the last decade, we've gotten a lot of games that have really wide or really long lists of what progress can look like, spread out over a wide space, largely because of how kind of focused the industry has become on big open world games, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm making progress, but like I'm checking a box that's on a list of 500 things, or we get like a lot of kind of fairly linear big games. Even something I would say like God of War is something that is not technically linear, but that there is kind of that same general idea of linear progress through the game. There's almost not, when I think about like that style of story-driven AAA game, I rarely feel like I'm quote unquote making progress. I mostly feel like I'm moving through the story. I'm moving through this area or whatever. But there's something about Dark Souls and having discrete checkpoints, having boss fights be this sort of like punctuation, that really provides this feeling of, wow, I got a lot done today. Even if I made the same percentage amount of progress in this versus another game, the feeling of like I beat 3 bosses, I got 2 more bonfires, stuff like that ends up feeling really good. And I think that's part of the kind of charm of this game. Is in the 2010s, there had not been that same focus on solid quantifiable progression.
Yeah, for sure. I felt like very good. Like this game is really good about making you feel really satisfied after getting past certain market. Like, and even like what I was saying before about the shortcuts. Like whenever I felt like the feeling that I got from unlocking a shortcut was similar to the feeling that I got from beating a boss. It was like both because it allowed me to see the world like in this interconnected way, and also because I was just like, yeah, like now I'm able to like more easily navigate the world, and so like conquering the environment in that way is like its own kind of reward, I think.
This is where I'm going, right? Is this right? For the
sorry, I'm.
Oh no! You're going. Go back to Firelink.
Okay.
You're going to the downward staircase behind the bonfire.
Right. Where the Firekeeper is, right?
Yeah. And definitely spend your. Okay, you're good on souls. I was going to say spend your souls because you will die here, and you may not be able to get your.
Oh yeah.
Your shit back.
Yeah, I'm going to be somewhere I'm not supposed to be for sure.
Yes. So there's the Firekeeper. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, she can't do anything yet. So. Yep. Go down there.
And this will take me to an elevator that'll take me down into there, right? And then. I just need direction on where.
Yeah, I'll guide you because I recently did this,
Okay.
Playing the Switch remaster.
I have to say they did it's a pretty nice remaster. I mean, DS specs looked really good too on the computer, but this is Very.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with the way it looks on the PS4/PC, and like, I don't know, I got it on the Switch because I just wanted to be able to play Dark Souls in bed. But
Fair.
like,
Yeah.
I do notice that there's a lot of like texture, like the grass is moving and stuff like that on the PS4 and PC, and that's just like not there. Like everything is completely still on the it's closer to the original graphics, I would say. It's like clearer and the resolution is higher, but like there's not like as many like things, like the environment doesn't really move. It's like kind of static. Okay, so you're making a right here. Go up. Oh no, sorry, that's to the Valley of Drakes. Sorry, make a left. I was thinking of the other shortcut. Yeah, you're going down. There's gonna be like a path leading down here. Yeah, through there.
I think I vaguely remember. I'm like going across
Yeah.
that bridge.
So follow those lights.
I have a lot of tension right now. I'm feeling very frightened. As I know I'm not supposed to
Should
be
be.
here.
Okay, so the ghosts are gonna come out, so now start running. So run. Oh wait, actually I think they don't come out yet. Okay,
There's
now
one.
make a right. Okay, go. Make a right.
We're here.
Go through there. And no, make a right. Right.
What's
Nope.
left? Ah,
Right. No.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
You're gonna fall off. Okay.
Oh.
Now left. Okay, left.
Left.
I think we're delayed a little
There-
bit.
so there's a path. Okay.
Oh, I
yeah.
see. Yep.
Through there.
This-
Okay, go. Run.
Oh.
Get it.
Got
Nice.
it.
Good. All right, now try and get out.
You can do
Oh,
it.
Can you
no.
make it? All right, just roll, baby, roll.
They're not gonna let me through.
No. Pull them in and then.
You
Yeah,
can't
it's
touch
all right.
the ghosts.
Yeah.
It's all right.
You can't touch the ghosts, but the ghosts will
ghosts can touch
physically
you.
block you from going
Yeah.
past them. That's the kind of cruel that this game is. Like
Yeah.
you can't, without using an item, you can't actually hit the ghosts, but the ghosts will still physically block you, and you can't go through them.
Now, do I go talk to her to use it? Is that right?
Yeah, you go down
Okay.
to the Firekeeper and
See,
just
and,
reinforce
uh,
Estus Flask.
The second one, you throw them into the bonfire, don't you? No, you talk to her again.
We got big. I don't know if either of you have followed Blaseball at all. Are either of you following Blaseball?
What
at all?
is Blaseball? Like, I have people on my feed talking about it.
It's an online baseball horror game that is played through fandom and betting through fake money, not real money. Anyway, big Blaseball news for people watching the stream. Boyfriend Montreal just got incinerated, I believe, which is very sad for fans of the Kansas City Breath Mints. Boyfriend Montreal is an all-time great player, and she'll be missed. Oh well.
Did this like just start? Is this like a new?
No, it's been
thing?
running for. I mean, it just started this year. Yeah, so it started a few weeks ago, and people in the chat pretty sad about Boyfriend. So it happens. It happens. If you want a horror game, let me tell you about Blaseball. It's good. Anyway.
I've got. We now have a cat in the room, wandering around.
Hell yeah!
Looking.
That's
for
what I
things.
want to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another announcement here. It is the 33rd minute of the hour.
33.
And if you have heard us do this before, you should already know what that means. It means that it is time for you to show the power of collective action, the power of small actions building up into a giant avalanche of change. Also, what that means is it's a good time to donate. Anything with a 3 in it, $3, $3.33, $33.33, whatever you can handle, toss that into the donation. Again, the donation link is savepoint.stream. I will read those out as they come in, and I'm just looking for a little accompaniment. 1 second here. Let's see if I can get what I really want to hear. But I don't know if I can find it on my phone. Oh, yeah.
Anonymous
Okay.
donates $6.90. Fume Night slaps. Yes. Light
There is-
Woven donates $33.33. Appreciate all you guys do. Defund the police, and also Austin, watch the rest of the Clone Wars.
I'll get there. I promise. Thank you to
Jamo-
Josias for this slowed down version of Snow Halation, this chopped and screwed Snow Halation that's playing.
Jamo House, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, donates $100. Fuck capitalism, stay home. Thank you. Henry donates another $4.21. Mended. I'm not sure that.
Mended instead of ended. That was in fact.
Mended instead of ended. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Yes. Storm Blooper, hey, donates, says, yo, F donates 1312. Wait, hold on, I missed a comment. I'm going back. Wait. I'm trying to. How do I go?
I've lost it. They're coming in so fast, it's hard to see them.
They're
all.
coming in fast. Coming in fast. Let's see.
All right, so the question now is...
I lost.
It's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you, Storm Blooper, for donating 1312. Hell yeah.
Can we
a lot
clear...
of RIV, Riv Boyfriend Montreal, Riv Montreal, 3333 from Ryan, Isaac G, who says, together we will break this millennium. I'm glad the commissioner's doing a great job. We're getting a lot of Blaseball donations right now, which that's fair. Anonymous donates $6.90. This is Fume Night slapped. We have not talked about the Fume Night. Fume Night does slap.
Yeah, I was saying.
That's a good one. Oh yeah, you did say that. I was busy looking for slowed down J-pop.
It's very important.
It is. 3333.
Is RIV is Rest in Victory?
Rest in Victory, right? Is that
okay? I've never seen that before. I'm not that much of a gamer.
It's a Blaseball internal meme. Lots of people die in Blaseball, unlike baseball. So there's lots of rogue umpires. They incinerate the people who they've decided to judge. Collective Action slaps. It says Camille with a 333 donation. Cyberspace Cat donates 3333 and says, in the spirit of Snow Halation, let's all get into VTubers. ACAB. Anonymous donates $23. We are at $59,465. We're sneaking up on 60,000. Let's fucking go. $330 from Anonymous.
That's incredible.
Who says, fuck capitalism, thanks for the work you're doing for a great cause. All these games make me think of threes. Sorry, all these threes make me think of threes. What a good game. Caligula Lovely just donated $333.33. Thanks y'all for helping me get through a bad week, a shitty week, a shit week probably. Black Lives Matter, defund the police, and why is every From Game DLC better than the main game? Because they spend a lot of time learning how to make the game, and then they know how to make the game, and after they know how to make the game, they make the DLC. We got 3333 from Disquisition. We are from Chicago. Another Blaseball joke. Niblax 1312. Fuck yeah. Claws up for Deicide. Another Blaseball. A lot of Blaseball people out here.
People love Blaseball.
Faili 3333 says, everyone participating in Blaseball, please switch your idols for the Snackrifice plan, which I believe, and I'm not making this up, is a plan meant for a team that's really bad. There's a team that's really bad out there who is planning to sacrifice all of their pitchers and maybe all of their players and turning them into giant shelled peanuts. Lots of weird things happening in Blaseball right now. The
language associated with this, Snackrifice is just great.
It's fantastic. If I'm honest, I think you might really like Blaseball.
Okay.
1312 from Chiropolis. Fuck yeah. Bear Seek Lest. Quantum Dot, Mikey, thank you. 333. The commissioner is doing a great job. We are $25.20 away from 60,000. Who is going to put us over the edge?
Let's not have Matt go over the edge here, though.
Please, Matt, don't go over the edge.
Let's kick him over the edge. This guy I always kick.
How do you kick again? This is so
forward and light attack. Forward L1.
There we go.
There you go. Peace.
Oh, okay, that counted.
So that's the danger of using the target locking system.
Yes.
You will drag yourself.
These fucking rats.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
Oh god.
Uh-huh.
The poison.
You know what? I just don't want to.
I know exactly where we are. Yeah. Whew. The last time I think Natalie and I streamed this game, this is exactly as far as we got.
So there is a way to get past the Drake. You need to basically stand in the little alcove where like he can't spit fire onto you, and then wait until he like spews fire, and then there'll be like a pause, and he like won't look like he's doing anything. And then like after a while of you standing there, he'll jump down, and at that point you just like run through his legs, and that's how you get to the the shrine. There's a shrine that with another bonfire.
Oh yeah.
Behind him.
We
Yeah. So if you want to get that bonfire,
are at $60,118.12. We smashed through 60,000 with a bunch of donations that just came in, including Aviator Man, who donates $33.33 and says, "Just imagine if the money going to police instead went to getting people out of cages or from being evicted. Together we can make that world happen." Kate donates $30 and says over the edge. Drew donates $33.33. He says Black Lives Matter, abolish bail, abolish prisons, abolish the police. Maverick B donates $3.33 and says fuck the prison system. All my homies hate the prison system. Glad to see the work you've done as a recent Waypoint listener. Also, let's go Miami Dale. Give us nothing. $30 from Lucy says good luck with the fundraising, and Stan Gwendolyn. Absolutely,
yes.
Stan Gwendolyn. Merlin donates $13.33. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I keep saying Montreal. It's Montreal. There's no T in there. Apologies to Merlin, who corrects me on my pronunciation. Snow Halation, A Cab, Jessica Luna, 333, 2333. Anonymous says, "Love you all, Austin. Love you all, Austin. Do you have any good new tabletop role-playing game recommendations?" I do. I'll get there after I read these donations. Cam donates $25 and says, "We spread boyfriend's ashes across the world so that they may continue to date everyone. Riv, boyfriend, the mints are going to win this for you." I love it. Yeah, tabletop role-playing game recommendations. I can talk about the ones I've been reading lately. Let's see. I guess if I open up my PDF thing here, and my PDF viewer, PDF Exchange Editor, which is my PDF viewer of choice. The big ones I've been looking at lately, and that I've been really impressed with, and that I like a lot. So I'm like, I hope I get to play this at some point, because that is actually my relationship with most tabletop role-playing games, unfortunately. Let's see. I would shout out. How about this? I've been looking at in the spirit of Bloodborne coming up. I'll shout out a couple of games that have a really Bloodborne-y vibe. First up is a game called Rhapsody of Blood, which is a hack of a game called Legacy: Life Among the Ruins, and it's like a Bloodborne-y or Castlevania-y, vaguely powered by the apocalypse tabletop role-playing game in which you play kind of legacies, like bloodlines of people who are like monster hunters, basically going on delves into these dungeons. And one of the things that's so cool about it is that you jump from like timeline to timeline. It's like we're talking about a lot of cycles here, right? And so the idea is that like you defeat the boss of the dungeon, and then you jump ahead to the next generation of characters, and there's some stuff that carries over between the characters because they're related still. But there's also this real sense of closing that loop, closing that era of history. And that game is really cool. It's like maybe a little more combat focused than something that I would run on Friends of the Table. But the combat stuff is really, really fucking good. The map making stuff is really cool. There's another PBTA game powered by the Apocalypse game called Beneath the Cursed Moon that also has a very Bloodborne-y, Castlevania-y vibe. And then I'm reading and really enjoying Heart, the City Beneath, which is a follow-up to a game called Spire. And Spire is about a revolution in a city controlled by high elves that are oppressing the dark elves below, and it's really, really fascinating and interesting. And Heart is like that same world, but with a touch of Bloodborne and Annihilation and Roadside Picnic, and it's like incredible dark fantasy. The classes are incredible. One of the classes is like a bee wizard, a person made of bees who can summon the bees from their own body, and they're part of a collective like hive-minded being. There's a class that is like someone whose very manifestation of death is constantly following them around, a step or two behind them. So in the spirit of the conversations we have, that's my quick drop of relevant RPGs. There are so many more that I have open right now that I'm never going to get to play, unfortunately, but shout out all those games.
You know what I have a funny RPG story, funny tabletop story, or just mildly interesting. It's been
Mhm.
playing D&D for the first time in my life.
Mhm.
Because I was not allowed to play Dungeons and Dragons as a
Oh.
child, because my
Sure.
mother had watched, a 2020 special in the
Uh-huh.
80s and was terrified of it. So instead, I played Vampire the Masquerade and grew up playing as that as my
Hell
tabletop.
yes.
Oh,
Was-
so much better.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nice
Also,
Christian
it's
game.
very funny. Yeah, I was gonna say it's so funny that your mom was like, "Now, Vampire the Masquerade, that's allowed in this house. As long as you keep the masquerade up, you join a nice Camarilla house.
There
That's
wasn't,
Sabat bullshit.
Yeah, there wasn't a 2020 about it. There wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't on Dateline or anything.
Yep.
So.
There were no chick tracks about Vampire the
Yes,
Masquerade.
exactly.
A chick track that says to never trust a Toreador would be my whole fucking life. What was your what were your vampire characters like?
I was usually the person running the game. This is bad.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, I was usually stuck doing that. My favorite clan is Malkavian.
Nice.
Yeah, I love them. I love La Sombra. I always don't know really how to say it. Zimitsi?
I always say Chimize.
Chimize.
I always think that as a ch, but I don't
Okay.
remember why. If that's a thing I've made up or if that's a thing someone told me.
Okay.
Chimize or Chimize, I forget which.
Have you played the Crusader Kings 3 mod yet?
I didn't play it. No, I haven't yet.
It is amazing. It's kind of stunning, actually, what they've done.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you can tell that the people who made it have this really deep knowledge of the lore. So, like, I'm playing like La Sombra in Italy, like tracking down Bali infernalists and like imprisoning them. So, like, I remember enough of my vampire lore to know that this is bad and will lead only to destruction if I allow them out. So.
Okay, yeah, Matt, are you trying to go past the Drake
Yes.
right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get to go back down to where you just were.
Okay.
Oh, actually,
Should I go
because
spend
you're
these
already-
souls? I think maybe
Oh, yeah. If you,
Uh,
you should eat your souls.
if I remember how to get back to the.
Also, you should have some soul items by now.
I
You should
do. I
probably-
have quite a few, but I didn't want to like sit
Mhm.
and burn through menus too much on stream.
Right.
You know what? We've only got what? Well, we've only got what? 13 minutes. Let's.
Yeah, let's make a run for it, but like
Yeah.
not here. Let's go underneath and go back, like reemerge at the halfway point,
Okay.
and that is where you can make your run.
Okay. So go back down.
No.
No,
Well, no, I mean you will burn if you go that way.
Right.
Yeah, go back to the sewer area, and then you'll just like reemerge from. Wait, where are you
Tell
right
me.
now?
I'm turned around.
wait,
Actually.
isn't Solaire? Did you meet Solaire when I was not looking?
Yes. We were
Okay.
talking
Yeah.
about. We were
I'm
talking about
sorry.
something else. No, it's all right.
Damn, no,
You praised the sun.
I'm sorry that I didn't praise the sun along with Solaire. Listen, that's on me.
Oh, that's
Well, you know
actually
what?
another. That's
He's right
actually
here.
another thing about
Thank you.
about Dark Souls that is on the theme of it being a parable of capitalism failing everyone, is that the sun in Dark Souls is actually an illusion created by Gwendolyn because the god's power had faded, and so like in order to just motivate people just enough to resume this quest to relink the flame, she creates this sun that's it's not the real sun. It's just that's why the whole game is kind of in this period of weird sunset, twilight, whatever,
Right.
because the sun's not real.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna blow a homeward bone.
Yeah, definitely.
If not now, then
Just do that.
when?
Yeah, just to speed things up here.
I feel like capitalism would create a fake sun if it made people continue to spend money and not do anything to
I
stop the system from producing more billionaires.
I don't know why this reminds me suddenly of the plot of Highlander 2. Has anyone seen that? It's one of the worst
Only
movies.
when I was a child. I've not seen it since. Yeah.
Do you remember the plot of Highlander 2?
No.
At the end of Highlander 1, Colin MacLeod, the Clan MacLeod, or that's probably not his name. The hero gets all the gift of all knowledge, and then he uses that knowledge in the second movie to block out the sun to
Perfect.
to prevent global warming.
Ooh.
That's like his big tech solution, and it's like a weird cyberpunk dystopia. It's a very
Wow,
strange
I
and
should-
terrible movie. It's not good.
That
Isn't
sounds
that also
great.
the plot to Snowpiercer,
It
where
is
they
also
like
the
try?
plot to Snowpiercer.
Yeah, they try to reverse global warming by creating clouds that block the sun, and then it winds up going horribly wrong, and now everybody's in winter forever.
I didn't realize that the oh right, Highlighter 2 was the one that takes place on the fucking on another planet, right?
Yeah, you learn that
Zeist?
they are aliens
Right.
that had
That's
come to
such
Earth to compete.
Wow.
That's
All right.
so funny.
All right, so we're just doing a basic run, right?
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
going through here, and then you emerge like in that little area, like right before the Drake.
I think.
And then we got to see the sunlight altar, which is what I was talking about before, where you
Right.
see the dismembered statue of the Nameless King, which you eventually meet in Dark Souls 3,
Oh.
the long-lost son of Gwyn, who we assume is Solaire, but is actually just some dude named
some
the Nameless
dude.
King.
Yeah.
He's just some dude with a big
which I
spear.
kind of love. I love the fact that it kind of just like slaps away the nice thing that you thought you had, which was like, oh yeah, Solaire is the secret something. No.
No.
The world doesn't work like that. Solaire doesn't get to be like the nice son. Solaire is just a
It
guy
also-
who really believes in this shit, and that can be enough on its own.
Yeah, I think Solaire still even without that piece of backstory, Solaire.
Yes.
Oh wait, you're going. No. You have to go back if you're trying to go across the bridge. You're just gonna go, like emerge from. No,
Okay.
turn around. Go back from whence you came.
Janice did tweet that she was going to bully a bunch of boys around, and it's happening. What do we
No,
do?
I love it. It's great.
My favorite pastime. Okay.
God.
Yeah, you're going. Oh wait, no, that's where the Black
Oh.
Knight is.
Yeah.
You're just going. Yeah, go back down the ladder and then.
Back with the rats, the spooky rats.
Wait, are the rats down there?
No,
Yeah, this is the ladder to the.
Oh.
Oh, damn! Clocked you.
Oh
That
my
was-
goodness. Oh, this isn't
I don't know
good.
that I've seen that attack before somehow. That like super close range, like nose punch.
Yeah.
That was like
wow.
Wow. Got socked. No. So what you're trying to get to is the place. Go back down there, I think. You're just going to the place where you like. Oh wait.
Yep. There's those red.
Wait.
boys.
How do you get? Maybe I'm just like losing my mind. How do you get to that like middle point where you like emerge from the?
like the center of the bridge.
I think that was.
Yeah.
up
Wait.
ahead.
Is it further up,
I think
yeah.
it's further
or is
up.
that where the Black Knight is?
No, that's the Black Knight is definitely back there. It's right here. I think is what you're talking about.
No, I don't think so.
So not this right here.
No. This is further on. Because like
at
look,
this point, we've kind of wrapped around where the dragon is, right?
Yeah, we're
That's the whole
past
thing.
the Drake.
Sorry,
so
yeah, Drake, not dragon. Apologies.
Right, because the dragons all died out because Gwyn killed them all.
Okay, people are saying, yeah, you have to go to
According
the
to
rat
the
place.
story.
We do have to go through that rat place.
Okay. Back to the
Yeah,
rats.
okay, it is the rat place. Yeah, we're trying to like get to
Trust
that little like
Janice's, judgment here.
She was
that
right.
middle part,
I'm gonna get chewed up. This is gonna be.
and you're gonna, yeah, you should chug, or not.
I think I'm gonna get eaten by
roll.
rats.
Yeah.
Just chewed
Roll.
up. It's just gonna happen.
Oh my god. they're-
It's okay. We'll just
Yep, it's fine. It's fine.
you're gonna have to come through here anyway. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up.
Yeah.
We'll let the rats.
Right,
have those
okay.
ones.
Yeah. You also lost a humanity, but who's counting?
All right, I'm
Right,
gonna.
so you're going up here. Yep,
Okay.
This is what I was talking about. Okay, so you want to go, like, just move to the other side, like the other, and then he'll come out and he'll, like, breathe fire and kill everybody.
Yeah,
there you go.
there we
Stand
go.
right there. Just keep standing there, look at him, look at the Drake, and then eventually he'll, like, get bored and he'll, like, come down. And then when the Drake comes down,
Yeah, I see the fire, the bonfire beyond. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can do it.
and if you can, on the way, you can
All right,
grab all
go.
those items. All right, go.
We're gonna
We're gonna
Oh,
scoot
you
grab-
said screw it. Oh.
Go, go, go. All right, just go. And you might want to hide behind the wall because he's going to breathe fire again. Okay, never mind. You got it.
Whew.
Woo!
Well done.
Woo-hoo. Okay.
Nice.
Now, and then you can open up that shortcut. There you
There
go.
it is. And that's Dark Souls
Alright.
to me.
Yeah.
That's
Dark Souls.
Baby.
I just feel bad killing. I don't want to kill those guys anymore. I feel like
Yeah, I never
kill
kill the guys that are just mining their. Okay, here it is. This is the Sunlight Altar.
Oh,
so,
right.
so the thing that you notice is that the little sword spear,
Yeah.
the shape of that spear is the exact same weapon that the Nameless King has in Dark Souls
Yeah.
3. So they brought that back, and that was like one of the things that didn't really quite match up with the theory that Solaire was Gwyn's son, because Solaire uses the sword, like he doesn't
Just
use
a regular
spear sword thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you fight the Nameless King, you're like, oh. And then you also notice that like part of you can see like the sort of like, I don't know if it's like a helmet. Yeah, no, it's a helmet. It's like with the hair, like the silver sort of like mane. You see parts of that in the crumbled statue.
So where is he now? What is in the lore of this all? Where the hell is he now?
The Nameless King.
Yeah.
He fucked off. He just like,
You know what?
you know,
Good for him.
He was abandoned. Well, he was just like, okay, fuck the gods. I'm gonna like just do my own thing.
I'm gonna go make friends with a cool bird dragon.
Yeah, no, so I think according to the lore, he basically like refunded the dragons because like Gwen like wiped out the dragons.
Right.
And so he like, and I think Seath the Scaleless is involved in some part of this lore. But basically like so like the way that you get to the area where he is in Dark Souls 3 is you do like the Path of the Dragon, where you like get I forget exactly what it is, but like you have to have that item, and then you have to like sit down in that position, and then you get like whisked away to the area. And so, but yeah, like everything is like Drake's, and so like the descendants of the dragons, he's like made friends with them, and like, you know, they now like serve under him. And then the other thing about the Nameless King is that it's implied that Ornstein actually like abandoned his duty to serve under the Nameless King, because he like, there's like an item I think that says that he like abandoned the service of Gwyn, and he like ultimately like went to ally himself with the Nameless King. So and you also find you find the Dragon Slayer armor in the Nameless King's like domain, like left behind from Ornstein, but it's not clear. I don't think it's clear what happened to Ornstein ultimately.
I remember there being briefly one of the theories during Dark Souls 2 release is that there is a old Dragon Slayer that you fight there who has on Ornstein's like armor, but all black.
Right.
And I remember one of the theories at the time then, I think Dark Souls 3 would have, you know, made this, you know, obsolete at this point, but was that this was the real Ornstein. The Ornstein left with the princess, or there was someone who fled on Orlando and went to Drang Lake, and that Ornstein went with her, betrayed her, left with her. Betrayed on Orlando and left with her, and left behind some sort of like duplicate fake with you know, with Smo for that fight, basically.
Right.
But I don't remember enough of this theory to be 100% on it, because it's been years since I've like read about it.
Yeah, and somebody just noted in chat there's like a Ornstein like boss in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, that's the old Dragon Slayer, yeah, who people thought at the time was like, is this actually
No. Yeah, it ain't him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you play Dark Souls 3, then that's when you realize like, oh, okay, he eventually like just abandoned Gwyn and went to serve under the Nameless King.
Right.
Oh no.
Well, playing this game without a shield is intense.
It's so intense. I'm here for it. I respect it.
Yeah, no, seriously.
So that's what I did in 2. I went like claymores, like two-handed swords plus miracles, And that build was really fun. And there was also the reason I did that was also because I wanted to learn how to not play this game with a shield. Because up until that point, I'd only ever played with shields.
Yeah. That's kind of
put your
my
souls
thinking
into Vit.
here.
Yeah.
Put your souls into Vit and just get really, really strong. Just like
get buff.
Get buff.
Just get buff. I
Get
think
swole.
that our time is coming to an end here.
I
We
believe
can hand the
so.
stream
Yes.
over to Kaz, or some say Kazum, and Libby, who are about to take over and start playing some Bloodborne. But thank you to Matt for driving us, and Janice for coming on and dropping all sorts of lore and critiques of capitalism. And I'm glad. Thanks for people who stuck through our early tech difficulties, and I think the stream ended up coming out really good. So thank you both for being here.
And an absolute blast. Thank you to everyone who donated. And thank you to Janice.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and
thank you everybody who donated.
Thank you again to the mods and everyone who showed up. Again, the site to go to do your donations is SavePoint.stream. We're at $60,491. Our current goal is $69,420. I think we can hit that today. I think we can hit $69,000 today. Let's.
All right, 69,420. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, Kato, I think you can take us out.
Yeah, absolutely.